All right, Israel 2024. Raise your hand if you've turned in your deposit. Yeah, a couple of you. Raise your hand if you haven't. All right, well, try to get that in. I think they say the deadline is October 9th. So you still got a second? Yeah. That doesn't exclude you. It's just, once the flight is full, then they're kind of like, sorry, it's full. You should have, signed up with the group. Because after October 9th, they're going to start to really put us in seats and stuff like that. Yeah.
Who do we turn it into?
Everything that you need is in your packet. Absolutely everything. The tour itinerary, who to turn money into, everything like that. You pay Coral Tours. That is our representative. That's the people I have a great relationship with. Coral Tours is right here. Their number's right here. You can pay with your credit card over the phone if you want, but mostly they operate with checks, like mail them a check usually is standard. And their offices are in New Jersey, so you're mailing to the United States. If you need a new packet, they're in a little FedEx box right up there. February 9th through the 21st is a 13-day trip. Normally, Israel trips are 10 to 11 days. When you get a 12-day, it's like, oh, we got extra. But 13, man, 13 allows us to see it all. I mean, I'm really happy with a 13-day trip. $3,975 per person. That's when you have a roommate. If you want to go by yourself and have your own room, they add $985 onto that because Israel wants people. So if you're only taking up a room yourself, it means there could be someone else. And so that's why you pay more. Now, for anyone who's going as a single person and you want a roommate, this will be my 8th trip. And so for 7 trips, I've never watched someone not get hooked up by God with the right person. I've seen men go and women go, and there just always has been the right amount of people, and God puts the right ladies together. I mean, some of them, are still friends. They still hang out. We had some ladies who met each other on our last Israel trip, and they've already traveled to Europe together now. They bonded so well, and so trust in the Lord for that. This price, $3,975, it covers your flight, all your travel expenses, bus, gas money, your hotel. We stay in the Leonardo chain. There's going to be 4 different hotels and locations we're going to be staying in. Your entrance fees, your tips for the guides, the rented headsets, tips for the bus driver and the guide, if I already said that. It's all inclusive. I do want to go over the itinerary just real quick. If I could just paint a picture. This is an amazing trip. We fly into Ben Gurion Airport, beautiful airport. As soon as you land, you're just going to be so excited, like, I'm in Israel, man. Like, this feels like home. This feels good. This is awesome. And if we have time that day, I don't like to go straight to the hotel upon arrival because you'll go right to sleep, and you won't get regular in your sleep schedule. So right when we land, I like to go to Jaffa. It's right on the ocean. It's beautiful on the Mediterranean. Jaffa is just south of Tel Aviv, right there, right on the ocean. That's where Jonah sailed off from to go to Tarshish. We stay our first night in Tel Aviv. And then it'll be day number 3, our first full travel day. We go up the coast just past Netanya, and we visit Caesarea Maritime. We visit Mount Carmel, where God sent fire down on the mountain. You'll see the valley of Megiddo. We go to Nazareth, where Jesus was. Remember when they almost pushed him off the cliff? There's only one cliff in Nazareth. There's only one place it could have been. It's a full day of journeying north, and we end up staying right on the Sea of Galilee. in Tiberias. Beautiful. In the morning, you can walk literally right across the street to the beach. You can watch the same sunrise Jesus saw like so many times. Have your nice little private devotion in the morning. Day number 4, we visit the northern tip. So the yellow areas would be Israel, and that farthest north little tip way up there, we go up to Caesarea Philippi. We see the headwaters of the Jordan River. It's just beautiful. It's right on the base of Mount Hermon. The Golan Heights, all of that. We see the northern part. We end up taking a boat ride on the Sea of Galilee, which is owned by a guy named Daniel. He's a Messianic Jew. All the other tour boats don't like him because all the Christians want to go with him because he's a believer, and they kind of persecute him. But he gets out there, he leads us in worship. It is, Gary, I remember you, man, your face was leaking a little bit. It's a powerful experience, isn't it? It's overwhelming.
What a good overwhelming.
Yeah.
The Spirit of God was in that boat. Like, you'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really amazing to be out on the water in this beautiful boat, just worshiping in English and Hebrew. It's pretty cool. Day number 5 is one of my favorite days. I call it a day with Jesus because we're all around the Sea of Galilee. You visit Capernaum, you'll be at the synagogue, the place where Jesus taught the Bible more than any other place. The Mount of Beatitudes, where the Sermon on the Mount was delivered. Cursi, the Gergesenes on the eastern side, where Jesus cast the demons into the pigs, and they jumped off the cliff on that side. We end the day where you can be baptized in the Jordan River. And there's a beautiful, nice spot right there. You want to do it there because the water's the cleanest. It's Israeli owned, and it's really nice. And you know how Disneyland has like the fake rock everywhere and it's pretty? Well, Pastor Chuck Smith poured in probably millions of dollars into this place called Yardenit, the baptismal site. It's beautiful. It's the fake rock, and he invested a lot because he thought it was very meaningful for people to be able to get baptized in Israel in the Jordan River. That's always a very, very special day, just to walk where Jesus walked right around the Galilee. It's very special. On day 6, we start to go south and we visit En Harod. That's the spring of Gideon. Remember when the 300 men were right there at the spring? Well, the water still is running right up out of the, right where it was. It's coming out right there. It's really beautiful. We head south, Bet Shan, Gilgal. I've never visited Gilgal, and I'm so excited for this because Joshua, everywhere he put a camp in Gilgal, he made the stones to mark the boundary in the shape of a footprint, because God said, wherever your foot goes, I'm giving you this land. And so from a helicopter, you look down and it looks like this giant footprint. And I'm so excited to go there and see it. I've never been. That night, we will be staying at a resort right on the Dead Sea. So you see the Dead Sea, we've made it all the way down. And you'll get a chance to float in the Dead Sea. You can ask Gary about that, too. Gary fell asleep or something, man, last time. And he was way out there. And he's like, Gary.
I've never floated before.
It's really fun. Bring your swimsuit, because
You can't drown either. So.
Yeah, you can't drown. If you took a nap, you'd wake up in Jordan on the other side or something. It's a pretty unique experience to float on the Dead Sea for sure. Day 7, we wake up right there on the Dead Sea, and we see stuff right down there. We go to Masada. We go to En Gedi, where David was hiding in caves from King Saul. That's a beautiful little nature walk. Qumran, where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. We'll visit the Ahava stores to get all your fancy creams and lotions, And then that night will be our first night in Jerusalem. And then from then on out, we'll be in Jerusalem the rest of the way. And that's always nice because, you get 3 nights in Tiberias, but you're kind of in and out of your suitcase. And then once you get to Jerusalem, you can just kind of flop for a little bit. So these days might get interwoven and mixed up. We see everything, but it just depends on weather. It depends on tour guides talking to each other. I like to go where we have the most space, where it's not crowded. So sometimes the itinerary gets switched up a little bit. But nevertheless, it says here on day 8, we'll go out to Shiloh. I've never been to Shiloh. I'm very, very excited. I put this request in to go because they know where the Ark of the Covenant was. They know where they had the tabernacle. Shiloh was the capital before Jerusalem was the capital. And so it's just north of Jerusalem, and we're going to get to go there. You'll get to see Jericho, the Valley of Elah, David and Goliath. There's so much, man. Once we get into Jerusalem, it's just so much to see. The Temple Mount is amazing. The Mount of Olives and the Garden of Gethsemane. We request a little private area where you'll see, the masses of people will be outside, but there's this little private garden. And I like to have a teaching and do worship. Michaela will be our worship leader for the trip. Woo! And just to do worship right there in the garden is, it's very intimate. It's very special. We will have designated shopping times for you to where it's like, okay, now I can get my shopping on. And we'll instruct you on where to go, how to pay, stuff like that. But there is one good half day of shopping where I make sure, because I know that's important for some people, and some people just want to get out and go. And so we have that available. This year, I want to do Hezekiah's Tunnel. I've never done that. So on that day, I'll tell you to bring probably your swimsuit. You'll want to wear shoes, and you're just going through a tunnel. If you're claustrophobic, maybe don't do it. Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Museum, the Garden Tomb, all of it. It's so great. There's so many cool things to see. You guys all got this paper, the What to Expect? All right. What to pack, what to expect. I'm going to go through this. The first thing it talks about is money. We suggest you take enough money to pay for items that are not included in the tour, such as lunches, snacks, coffee, room service, laundry, souvenirs. You get a huge Mediterranean-style buffet breakfast and dinner. There's always chicken, beef, fish, never pork. Tons of cheese, tons of salad. If you love salad, they have these hearty, awesome salads. But there's always just a huge selection that, for some people, they're so full at lunchtime, they don't even eat. But lunches will be like the Israeli equivalent of like fast food. So it'll be cheap. It'll be like falafel or a schnitzel. Schnitzel, it'll be pounded chicken because no pork, remember? So their schnitzel is chicken in like a pita. Something like that with a Coke will be, it's gotten more expensive. I remember when lunches were like $7, $8, and there was a couple that were 10, some were even 12 this time. Inflation's affecting everything. It also says the US dollar is accepted everywhere in Israel. Bring smaller bills, including at least $50 in $1 bills. You'll thank me for it. Change is always given in shekels, so the more dollar bills you have, the less change you'll accumulate. If you use traveler's checks, $10 and $20 denominations are best. Visa and MasterCard are usually accepted for larger purchases and allow you to dispute any incorrect charges. Most places are safe to use your card. We'll inform you when cash is best. Israel's first world country, so you'll see it. When you're in an Israeli place, and it looks just like America, and they ask for your card, and you do it through the slider, you're totally fine. It's when you're bartering. It's more when you're in downtown Jerusalem, and it feels more like you're in Rosarito. And then you don't want to use your cards, okay? Because a lot of them, some will be Muslim shops, Turkish shops, And yeah, they want to make money. They'll rip you off if you let them. And so that's where you want to use cash only. And does that make sense? If something's $5 and you give them a $20 bill, you're getting $15 back in shekels. And you don't know the system. You don't want a bunch of change where you're just like, what do I do with this, So I find lots of $1 bills. Just give the one, no change back, I'm good. I have so many $1 bills and $5 bills, it's not even funny. I always have more than I need. I just deposit it when I get back because I never want to run out. If you have to use an ATM, there's always a charge on top of it. You know how that works, yeah.
If you're a good barter, you can really get them down in price.
Yeah, you got to, or you'll get ripped off in those places. And if they just say, get out of here, you stupid American, then you know you've lowballed them too much. Notify your bank and inform them the dates you'll be in Israel and that purchases on your card are to be expected. That's important for you to do. Call your bank. Hey, I'm going to be in Israel these dates. Then you won't have them like temporarily stop your card because they're looking out for you, right? So let them know you'll be gone. Electrical appliances. You'll need an adapter. Israel uses 220 instead of 110. And a converter. Their wall receptacles require a plug with 2 round pins instead of 2 flat prongs. So make sure you come with your little adapter. That's really important. I think all the hotel rooms have blow dryers. Do you remember, Cheryl? All the rooms have blow dryers?
Yeah.
Do you remember, Ashley?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, she can't hear me. She's behind me. Okay, yeah. I think all of them had blow dryers, yeah. The big converter thing, I've never even used that. I just use the little tiny ones. So make sure you get that so you can charge your phone and stuff like that while you're there. Medicines. Pack enough of your prescription medications to last through the tour in original bottles. Have your doctor write an Israel equivalent prescription for life-dependent medications. Not all prescriptions are interchangeable. Your doctor will advise you. If you're allergic to any medicines, please keep a list of these with your passport. You should pack some aspirin and acids, similar items you use at home and feel you might need on the tour. If you suffer from car sickness, bring motion sickness pills because you're on a bus, And if you're sitting in the middle or the back, you might want those. For your passport, make 2 copies of your passport picture page. Leave 1 copy with someone at home and keep one with you separate from your passport. If you lose your passport, it's easier to get a new passport if you have the copy. I keep my passport on me at all times. I walk with it. I have that in my wallet. I like my front pocket because pickpocketers look for the back pocket. So I know if like right now I have my wallet right here. And I can always feel it, Clothing. This is a big question people always have. Temperature ranges from the low 50s to the mid 70s, falling into the 40s at night. So pack appropriate clothes you can mix and match. You know what, actually, from Tel Aviv inland to the desert, the climate around the world that mostly matches where we're going to be is San Diego to Escondido. You'll see it when you're there. It looks similar. The temperature's similar. So imagine San Diego in February. That's exactly what it's going to be. Imagine once we get inland, what's February like for us here? Well, some days it might be high 50s. Some days it might be 75. It's the same thing. And dress in layers because morning time, it'll be, you'll walk out to the bus and it'll be 50 and you'll want a hoodie. But after the bus drive, by the time we get to where we're going, you get out and it's 65 and it's like, oh, I want to put my hoodie away. So dress in layers. Shirts, pants or shorts, plus a sweater, plus a warm waterproof jacket. There's times when I'm, it might sprinkle, so I'll put on my rain jacket. And that same day, I might have a hoodie on. And then in the middle of the day, I got my hoodie off because I just want a t-shirt because it's warm. That can happen in one day. So layers is best. Bare midriffs are not appropriate for this tour. Shorts are appropriate in most areas, but are not in others. Long pants are required to enter the Temple Mount. So if you want to go on the Temple Mount, you have to have pants and I believe covered toes, like shoes for that day. That's important for that day. Or the Muslims, they won't let you on. Pack a small umbrella in case it rains. A couple pairs of comfortable walking shoes are essential. A couple because, feet can stink. Gold Bond too. You put them in while your shoes rest. I always switch days, and it'll if you got problems with stinky feet, it's probably usually because you don't switch shoes. We average 5 miles per day. That's the average. Some days are like 3. There's a couple that are 7, but that's it. And it's not trekking the whole time. Most people, if you're elderly and you're worried about it, most people that I've talked to are like, you're in and out of the bus doing so much that you don't even realize you walk that much. It's not like you just set out to do 5 miles out your front door. It's not like that. And when it comes to hard walks, we'll let you know. And there's always an out. And there's a couple of them. Like at Megiddo, if you don't want to go down into Ahab's tunnel and walk up the stairs, there's a time when we'll just send you back to the bus. So that there's a couple moments like that where, there might be like harder walks, and we'll give people the option. Hezekiah's tunnel, stuff like that. But be prepared to walk. It's not a vacation, it's an experience. It's not a vacation. It's an experience of a lifetime. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Okay. Yes. Couple pairs of walking shoes, hat, sunglasses, sunscreen. Check the weather before your departure. We're going to be in Tel Aviv, Tiberias, Jerusalem. Bring a small, lightweight backpack to travel with you, okay? And always pack fewer clothes and bring more money than you think you'll need, right? A lot of times you got unused clothes and you run out of money. Do the opposite. Next page. Luggage. You're allowed to check in 1 suitcase, which can't exceed 62 inches. Your 1 carry-on must not exceed 39 inches and must fit under the seat in front of you. That's what they say. You put it above you, but they say it's got to be able to fit. In addition, women are allowed a normal-sized purse. Getting to the airport, I'm not sure yet. We'll inform you. We'll figure it out whether, it depends on the size of the group and all of that. I'll let you know. Airline information. We usually have 1 layover on our way to Tel Aviv. We usually fly Delta, not always. My favorite is when we stop in New York. I like to stop there, stretch. It's the same gate. We just hop back on. Sometimes we'll go to Western Europe, and then we'll get off and then go again. But there's usually always a layover. Profiling. Israel does this and is not ashamed of it. If you happen to be taken into a private room for questioning, just know it's very common. Answer all their questions honestly, and don't be worried you won't miss your flight. If you have any Iranian or Iraqi descendancy, if you got anything in your name that could be, Islamic, in Los Angeles, the Israeli authorities will put you aside, and we won't see you for an hour or 2. But you won't miss your flight. But they will profile, and they have the safest borders in the world, pretty much because of it. They have to. They know they're hated. And so, that's what they do. Seating. If traveling with a spouse, family member, or friend, check to see if your seat assignments are adjacent. The check-in person can tell you if you are seated together and can possibly make requested changes. Airlines do not allow us to request seat assignments for groups, but we do our best to seat families and roommates together. Airline seating. Coral Tours are unable to guarantee specific airline seat assignments. They always try to ensure that couples and families are seated together and as many others as possible. When you check in, make sure to ask them to get you seated with family and friends. If you want to upgrade your seats, call Coral Tours and they will arrange that for you. So a taller guy like Ron might be saying, you know what, I don't mind paying $50 extra for extra leg room if they have it. You'll have to call Coral Tours. Call the number, talk to Yaniv. Anything like that, they'll talk to you. I've never seen it where a couple isn't sitting together on the flight. The Coral does a pretty good job of making sure you're with your requested roommate. sitting with them. But if you want any upgrades, you got to handle that on your own between you and Coral Tours. Arrival to Israel. When we arrive at Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv, a Coral Tours representative will connect with us after we pass through security. He'll be holding a sign that will say my name. After we get our luggage, we'll connect with our Israeli guide and head to our bus. So there'll come a moment, it'll have black, there'll be a great guy, they're used to it, they host us, they get us all the way until we're at our bus, and you'll meet our Israeli guide, Ike, there too. Security in Israel. Have all travel documents readily available at check-in. Be prepared to submit yourself to a body check by metal detector. Be prepared to open all luggage for inspection at check-in. All packages, including gifts, may be opened at this time. Do not accept anything presented to you unless you have inspected the contents. Please do not say or do anything during security checks that may cause delay in departure. Never joke about hijacks or bombs, etc. Israeli security take these matters very seriously. For security reasons, do not leave your luggage unattended in any public place. You feel really safe there. When you watch what they do, it's like you feel really safe by how Israel conducts itself once you enter their country. Your tour bus. You will have a small storage space located above your head. I keep my umbrella, poncho, and my heaviest jacket there in the bus at all times. It's just, if I need it, it's there. The seats are like 2 bucket seats, so it's not like the yellow school bus, like one flat bench. You and your spouse or whoever will have a bucket seat and the aisles in between. Your bus driver will have bottled water always available. Right when you walk out of the bus, there's a little mini fridge. And it is always stocked, and he just has a little container right by the steering wheel. And this is where a lot of your ones go, because you want to grab a water or two on your way out, and you just drop $1 to him. And then he just keeps buying more waters to fill up. That's nice. Next page. Hotels. We will be staying in 3.5 to 4-star hotels while in Israel. They will have Wi-Fi, and the rooms will be comfortably upgraded to American standards. Each morning and evening, we will eat a buffet-style meal that has a large variety of options. Tap water is safe to drink in Israel. My favorite hotel is the Jerusalem one. That's a really, really nice one. I like that one. Traveler's psychosis, the Israel syndrome. Sometimes tourists, in the excitement of being in a foreign country, temporarily fail to exercise the same caution they use at home. Here are a few things to remember. Stay with the group and avoid straying off on your own. Don't follow friendly little boys down an alley because his uncle has a shop where you can find a great deal, like the true splinter of wood from the cross of Christ. It may be hard to get out of the store without buying when you do that. If in any crowded place, keep your backpacks and hip packs in front of you with your arms folded across them. Keep your wallet and phone in your front pants pockets, not in your back pocket. Since Muslim women are covered from head to foot, Muslim men think that Western women's clothes are loose and immoral. For this reason, we ask that you dress modestly at all times, or you'll get the non-religious Muslims catcalling you. That will happen. You only need to worry about this when we're walking like in the busy streets of downtown Jerusalem. A lot of times we're out in the country at a lot of these sites. It's really nice. Things to avoid. Avoid the temptation to feed the local children. One darling child with a handout can quickly become a group too large for your supply. Avoid friendly embraces from strangers. Pickpockets look for people who look like tourists. So if you show up with your Make America Great Again and you're like red, white, and blue Americana shirt, the gypsies will be following you. They'll be looking for you. Avoid criticizing the country, the people, and the food. If you have a problem, please see your group leader. Calling home, if you have a smartphone, make sure to call your phone company and set up a phone or data plan for Israel during the time you're gone. I don't even know if you have to do that. You might just let them know, hey, I'm going to be in Israel during this time. And now they have international, I don't know, it's different than how it was 10 years ago. Tips for the guides. You are going to become very fond of your bus driver and tour guide. They are skilled professionals who enjoy working with tourists. Sometimes tour members will try to take a collection on the bus to give to the driver and guide to show their appreciation. However, Coral Travel tips the drivers and the guides at the very top of the scale. We therefore ask that no one start or contribute to such a collection. We thank you for your cooperation in this matter. So you've already paid for your tips in your price, okay? Like that's counted in. Shopping. There will be plenty of designated shopping opportunities in the right spots where you'll get the best deals. Resist the temptation to shop when you're touring. It only slows the group down. If a problem with your purchase develops later, your guide is of little assistance. Your best buys are from vendors at various sites in the shops in Jerusalem. Remember this when someone tries to steer you to a diamond center. If you make a major purchase, be sure to keep the name of the salesperson and the store name, address, and phone number. Make sure they will stand behind their product. It is best to purchase only items that you can take with you. If you want to make an expensive purchase, Israel is one of the cheaper places in the world to get a nice diamond, or, Roman glass, or, some people like to take a oil lamp from the time of King Solomon or from the time of Jesus. Some of these things, Roman coins, can get more expensive. So Coral Tours has designated stores that they will recommend. So there's a relationship established. Sometimes they're even Christians. And the guide will let you know, here you can trust the authenticity of what they're selling you. If you buy something expensive, you can have them ship it to you, but you only want to do it in these designated places and not just some random spot that you found, okay? The bartering is fun when you're just, souvenir shopping and finding fun stuff. That's always awesome. Here's some useful phrases. When we get home, for about 3 months, the church is going to get annoyed with us because we're going to be saying, Shalom, Manishma, Boker Tov. You're just going to hear that from us, Here's some simple phrases. A simple packing list. I'll go through it quickly. Make sure to bring a Bible. Don't forget your passport. It would be sad to say goodbye to you at the gate. Your Coral Tours packet, you'll get this eventually. A comfortable, lightweight backpack, small to medium-sized notebook, pen, highlighter, money, more than you think you'll need, and in small bills, lots of 5s and 1s, sunglasses, sunscreen, chapstick, shade, hat, all that. Pocket-sized Kleenex, just in case the restroom's out of toilet paper. I've never had that happen, but, there's always someone that has like a roll of toilet paper handy that never gets used. Snacks for the bus, if you want to buy beef jerky or something, while you're going along, trail mix, that's always good. An umbrella, rain jacket, prescription medicines in original container, a small Ziploc baggie for rocks, shells, other souvenirs. The cool thing about these sites is, some of these sites are 3,000 years old, and you'll find a piece of pottery in good shape that has the paint on it. And you're looking at something that's 3,000 years old. Here in America, if you find an arrowhead that's 125 years old, they'll say, leave it. You'll get fined if you take it. But in Israel, they say, no, take it with you. Our archaeologists have been through everything. Like everything we want, we got. So you can keep things. So if you want to grab a little stone from the brook where David, grabbed his stones to kill Goliath, it's just having a Ziploc baggie to put these little things in is nice if you're into that. Some people are. Shampoo, conditioner. Swimsuit's big, guys. To be baptized, to float in the Dead Sea. If you want to walk the Hezekiah's tunnel in Jerusalem, that's big. If you're not into it, leave it at home. Clothing you can layer, 2 pairs of walking shoes, anything you need for a long overseas plane ride. You'll have a TV in front of you. It'll be a nice plane, but still, neck pillow, books, whatever. Don't forget your adapter. At the end of the page, it says, I highly recommend you order a book from Amazon called The Holy Land from White Star Guides. It features high-quality color pictures and great information on several of the sites we'll visit. You'll enjoy having it after you get home, being able to reflect and remember all that you saw. There's other good ones I know. It's a book that will have sites and pictures. And so you can kind of study up and freshen up on these stories before we get there. But then afterwards, you'll be able to open up and be like, oh, I was right there. I remember that. And then lastly, I just have a list of all the sites that we're going to be and their biblical reference. And so for some of you, you want to study and you want to show up prepared. And so this list is for you guys that is like, I want to go knowing the story, and then I want to see it come to life. And others of you are like, yeah, I'm not going to read any of these. I'll just learn it when I get there. To each his own. But here's the list for you, okay? Any questions? Yes.
On Hezekiah's tunnel.
Yeah.
If you went there last time, we're going to the water one this time?
Last time we did the Canaanite tunnel. So you heard the water, and we went through the under tunnel that was dry, and we didn't do it. So this trip, after we get to that point, those of us will go through Hezekiah's tunnel, and then those others will stay with Ike, and we'll meet down at the pool of Siloam, which they're excavating more. We should see more than last year. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you recommend about bringing vitamins?
Vitamins? Yeah, sure. They make you feel great. Vitamins are awesome.
In the bottle?
Yeah, like emergency for the plane is always great. Airborne, like stuff that's just high in vitamin C for the flight. Make sure you don't get sick. Yeah, some people take that serious, and they're like emergency every morning and every night. They don't want to get sick when they're in Israel. I'm down with that. Yeah. Total flying time is 15 to 16 hours. So divide that up, probably 5 to 6 to the East Coast, and then 9, 10 the rest of the way. Yeah. Yep.
And if you guys don't have a passport, I recommend you do it early in case there's any problems.
Yeah, it takes about 12 to 14 weeks for a passport.
Yeah, at this point, if you don't have your passport, you'll need to get it expedited. You'll have to pay extra, which you can get it, but you need to go to the post office tomorrow. Yeah, Jeff.
Is there a chance to do laundry, or should you just bring clothes for every day?
Yeah, there's laundry at the hotels. And so that's always expensive, right? You know what, honestly, what I've done in the past is I usually wear the same shirt twice. Instead of, if there's 13 travel days, that give like 6 or 7 or whatever. And sometimes I'll just bring laundry. And I'll just, in my own sink, I'll just wash a little bit, freshen it up. I don't know. Some people do that, some people don't. Some people are like, I wore a shirt, I'll just hang it up and I'll spray it with something. It'll be, I don't know, whatever you want to do. If you really need to do laundry, it'll be at the hotels, and you'll have to pay. And that's always more than you want it to be. But that option's available, yep. I don't do that with underwear. Can I throw that out? I will have 13 pairs of underwear for sure. And with that, a travel trip, I always bring a white trash bag that's scented, always. I bring it with me, and all my dirty clothes go in it. And then I separate my dirty clothes from my clean clothes the whole entire trip. Yeah. Any other questions?
On the refunds, are they refundable if you can't make it?
If there's something on your end, no. If you don't have travel insurance or anything, no. If it's on Israel's end, like if there's a terrorist strike or something, they will fully reimburse us. Yeah. So if it's something on their end, why we have to cancel the trip, if another COVID breaks out or whatever, I don't know, they will, reimburse us fully. But if it's you, then no. We've had someone deal with that, Yeah. Yeah, I think trip insurance is always recommended. Yeah, some people don't, some people do. Yeah.
Josh, last year, they didn't make it optional.
Last year you had to do the trip insurance. So you'd have to talk to Coral Tours. Yeah, any questions you have about the trip, the flights, anything, yeah, call Coral Tours. Their number's right on the list. Any other questions? We just got a couple more minutes. His name's Yaniv. 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 He'll hook you up. with your questions. Any other? Yeah.
Do you know anything about COVID? Are they still being real strict?
No, you don't have to have a COVID shot or a booster to go to Israel. Or I don't think I'd be going. Yeah, you don't have to have a COVID shot. Yeah. Any other questions? All right. We got 3 minutes till second service, so find me if you got a question, okay? Thanks, guys.